who in my circle of friends actually knows somebody who's been diagnosed with COVID-19. I was shocked at how many people either know somebody or they've lost somebody as a result of it. So it really put a whole different light on things. And it was something I was truly curious about. Well, I had a few people who attacked me on that, saying that I was trying to act like it wasn't a real issue. I was buying into the MAGA playbook, whatever the heck that is, and that I was trying to disrupt things. Well, disruption is not such a bad thing, but also questioning is not such a bad thing.
Are you ready to live the life you deserve? Do you want to feel vibrantly healthy and reach your optimal weight without dieting while being kind to animals and the planet? Then you're in the right place at the right time. Welcome to Plant-Based Eating for Health with your host, certified plant-based nutritionist, Kathleen Gage.
Well, we're in the middle of whatever's going on with COVID-19. We've been dealing with this for a few weeks now, and from everything we're hearing, there is really no end in sight. They're saying by the end of April, maybe by the end of May, maybe by the end of summer. Well, the reality is that we are in it, and there's a few ways to look at this. We can fight it, resist it, and say, I don't like this, and get nothing done. Or we can say, okay, this is the current situation. Let's deal with it. Let's move forward. Hi, this is Kathleen Gage with Plant-Based Eating for Health. And today I wanted to talk about how to really deal with the situation that's going on. This is actually for my podcast show called Plant-Based Eating for Health. What a concept. And I have to tell you that eating plant-based is probably one of the best ways that you're going to create the best defense against complications should you acquire COVID-19. And from what they're saying, almost everybody's going to get it. They've already gotten it. Some people have been asymptomatic. Try saying that 5 times. But a lot of people are getting it. They don't even know they have it, or they are getting a few symptoms and they're amplifying it. The reality is that the majority of people who get it will not end up in the hospital. The people that are going to end up in the hospital are the ones that have a compromised immune system, or they have underlying complications and underlying conditions, I should say. I've done a few blog posts, I've done a few podcasts about this, and I really feel it bears repeating, but I don't want to dwell on it. The first thing that we have to look at is this is a real condition. I posted something on Facebook the other day where myself personally, I don't know anybody who has been diagnosed with this. So personally, I don't have anybody in my immediate circle of influence, my family, my friends, my Facebook people, who they themselves have gotten it. However, there are a lot of people who have gotten it. And so I posted on my wall and I said, I'm just curious. And it was sincerely, I was interested in this. I'm just curious. Who in my circle of friends actually knows somebody who's been diagnosed with COVID-19? I was shocked at how many people either know somebody or they've lost somebody as a result of it. So it really put a whole different light on things. And it was something I was truly curious about. Well, I had a few people who attacked me on that, saying that I was trying to act like it wasn't a real issue. I was buying into the MAGA playbook, whatever the heck that is, and that I was trying to disrupt things. Well, disruption is not such a bad thing, but also questioning is not such a bad thing. If I don't know anybody directly who has it, I might start questioning it. So that was the reason I put it out to my Facebook friends. I wanted to find out. And I had more comments on that particular post than anything of people saying, yes, in fact, I do know somebody. My father has it. My mother has it. My brother, my neighbor, my minister, a policeman that I know, whatever it may be. There are people who do know people who have gotten it. So that's not the issue. The issue is, what are you doing to take care of yourself? So one, you minimize your chance of contracting the virus. And two, if you do contract it, that you're not going to give it to somebody who's extremely vulnerable. I have people in my life who are extremely vulnerable. They're in their 80s and 90s. They might have lung conditions already. They might have some kind of underlying health condition. And for me, I probably, if I do contract it, which from everything they're saying, everybody's going to contract it anyway. But should I contract it, my chances of complication is minimal for a few reasons. One is the way that I eat. I eat 100% whole food, plant-based. The other thing is I exercise. I just got back from a 4-mile run, and it's great because nobody's on the road now. So where I go running, I live in a rural community, and oftentimes there's cars on the road. Well, when I run now, maybe in a 4-mile run, I'll see one car. So it's absolutely glorious because I get to go out, I get to clear my head, I get to get the endorphins going, and I get to increase my immune system ability to heal my body. So that's another reason. And another reason, a big reason, is my mindset. I've been really minimizing the amount of time I watch the news, because if you notice on the news, they keep blasting you with how many people are getting it, how many people are dying. And yes, that information is valuable, but what about how many people are not getting it, or how many people are healing from it very quickly? And so I think that we need to look at the kind of information that we're bombarded with, but I'll talk about that shortly. Today, I just wanted to hop on, do a podcast episode, and just kind of share a stream of consciousness around what's going on. While I was running, I was listening to a YouTube video. I just put it on audio and I listened to it, and it's Outwitting the Devil. And it was by Napoleon Hill, I believe, wrote Outwitting the Devil, and it was not published until long after his passing. And basically, it's him having a conversation with the devil and why we actually succumb to certain beliefs. And one is that people don't have their defenses up. They're not aware of what they're even thinking. They're not aware of what they're listening to. They're not aware of what they're putting into their subconscious mind. And one of the things that he talked about in getting through difficult times is, again, to be very aware of what you're listening to, what you're watching, who you're talking to, the people you're surrounding yourself with, and having a definite purpose, a definitive of purpose, I think is what he called it. But what is an outcome you're looking for? And I know right now it's very tough for a lot of people, and a lot of people are focusing on what's not happening rather than what is happening. This is a great time to reboot your mind, body, and soul. This is a great time to look at what you're doing on a daily basis to accomplish goals. Right now, I'll just show you a file folder. This file folder has business cards in it that I'm going to actually be calling those people over the next couple of days just to connect and say hi, see how things are going. Now, the mere fact that I'm taking action that's a positive action gets me out of the negative thinking. And we're all prone to thinking negative if we don't keep a finger on the pulse of what we're doing, and we're not bringing it to a level of consciousness. And so for me, I've been making calls today. I've been reaching out to people. I've been setting up webinars. I'm continuing my business because that's how I pay my bills. That's how I serve my market. And if I just come to a standstill and I say, oh, things are so slow, I can't believe how slow they are, well, that's what I focus on. I don't do anything productive. Last week, I had a great week. I did very, very well last week. And I also launched a new webinar. I also launched a book that is on Kindle, and I relaunched it. That's going great. Hundreds upon hundreds of downloads on that. And so I'm staying in action on what's going to produce the best results. But this is all about plant-based eating. So I'm kind of getting into some business stuff, but the reality is when you eat healthy, you can make better decisions. If you're eating a bunch of garbage, if you're feeling sluggish, if you're eating sugar, if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, you're setting yourself up for a lot of roadblocks. I had somebody who I've known for a few years that started attacking me on Facebook, and we took it offline and we were private messaging each other. And it was apparent that she had been drinking and she was attacking me. And I said, you know what? I don't have time for this. And I don't. I don't have time to surround myself with a lot of negativity. I don't have time to surround myself with people who are going to attack me for no apparent reason. Maybe I don't agree with their particular belief system. Well, what's the point in attacking me for that? And so what you want to look at is you want to look at, what are you doing on a daily basis? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are your belief systems? What are the actions you're taking? And act as if this is it. Because the reality is we're not going back to the way things were. The reality is this is probably the best time to reboot on a lot of different levels. How many people have said, I wish I just had time to start a new campaign or write a book, or I wish I could create a product, or I wish. Well, you've got time for a lot of people. If you're somebody that had a job and you no longer have a job and you were thinking of starting a business, what a great time to research, to educate yourself, to get into action, to set goals, every single day, and do something. And it's the same with your eating. If you're not eating healthy, you're setting yourself up for failure. That is the bottom line. You have to eat in order to support your immune system. The best way to eat in order to support your immune system and to strengthen your immune system is to eat plant-based. And every indication is that if you eat a lot of vegetables, you eat a lot of fruits. And when I say fruits, I'm not talking canned fruits with a lot of sugar in it. I'm talking fresh fruits if you can get them, or frozen fruits without added sugar. Eat beans, eat legumes, and really look at how you're serving your body, because energetically what you put in your body is a result of everything that went into that food. And so if you're eating animal-based products, I have to tell you, you've got to research factory farming, because factory farming energetically is the worst thing that you can put into your body, factory farmed animals. It's the worst thing that you can put into your body, besides a lot of alcohol and besides drugs and all of that. And I am on my soapbox because I really believe in plant-based eating. If you are unsure what to do, there's some really good resources. How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger is a wonderful book on plant-based eating. Eat to Live by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. Fast Food Genocide by Dr. Joel Fuhrman is wonderful. And it really talks about why we are where we're at as a society. If you look at it right now, our healthcare system is broken. Our financial system is broken. Our school system is broken. There's so much that's broken right now. What a great place to start fixing things. And we're not going to fix it overnight. It's something that will take time. It's something that will take effort. And it starts with each one of us individually. So my invitation to you is to look at what your purpose is, to look at, am I clear on a purpose, and am I willing to take steps and action on that purpose every single day? Are you doing what you can do to strengthen your immune system? What are you consuming as far as liquids? What are you consuming as far as foods? I encourage you, drink a lot of water. Make sure that you're hydrated. Another thing is look at the foods that you're eating. Eat a diet very high in whole food, plant-based foods, vegetables, fruits, beans, legumes, nuts, avocados, all of that. And make sure that you are supplementing your vitamins with vitamin B complex, with D vitamin. I was talking to my niece, who actually is a certified nutritionist, and she was saying right now people really need to make sure they're upping their vitamin C, because vitamin C really helps to beef up your immune system. And then realizing that this is it. We're not going to go back to the way we were. What you do from this point forward will determine your success or lack thereof. And it's not that it's necessarily about going after big sales or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about your mindset. This is it. What are you doing to really keep tabs on the negative stuff that comes in? Are you surrounding yourself with people who lift you up? Are you eating in a way that you're not doing a crash and burn? Because one thing about plant-based eating is your energy is much more consistent and your clarity and focus is really consistent. So I encourage you to take a look at that. But I also encourage you to really look at what you're doing on a daily basis that is going to create the life that you desire and to help minimize your risk of complications should you contract the COVID-19 virus, because they're saying that most of us will. There are those of us who will contract it and we won't even know that we've contracted it. It's gone. However, we could put other people at risk. And so another thing that you can do is if you have people who are more at risk than you are, they might have compromised immune systems, do their grocery shopping for them. Go out and take care of the tasks for them so they don't have to go out in public and be subjected to the possibility of contracting the virus more than they already are. And also help them to eat healthier so that they minimize their risk. Because you can reverse certain diseases, you can reverse certain health conditions that do put you at more of a risk. This is Kathleen Gage with Plant-Based Eating for Health, encouraging you. Really look at what you're doing to create the kind of health that you deserve. Right now, more than ever, you cannot rely on the healthcare system because it's broken and it's overtaxed and it's overloaded. You have to look at what you're doing with your time to be productive during a downtime where a lot of people, what they're doing is they're actually staying in fear rather than looking at that and saying, okay, this is it. What am I going to do with my time? One is exercise. Be sure to really take care of yourself in a way that you're getting movement every day. You're getting outside as much as possible without coming in close contact with people, the social distancing. And I prefer it to call it physical distancing because we can still be very social right now in spite of what's going on, or maybe because of what's going on. And if you have people that are really negative, that are attacking you, unfriend them. You don't need to have that in your life. I've been doing that with some people. I've been unfriending them, and it's like, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need that going into my subconscious. So I really encourage you, take a look at what you're doing, take a look at how you're boosting your immune system, and be healthy, eat plants, live fully. This is Kathleen Gage with Plant-Based Eating for Health. Have a great day.
Thank you for your commitment to an ethical life through plant-based food choices. The kind of choices that are kind to your body, the environment, and most of all, animals. Be sure to leave a review and rating of the Plant-Based Eating for Health podcast show.